So, we in that new year, new me season.
Yes.
But a lot of us still have some of the same goals from 2023. And a lot of y'all, and I know for sure because y'all came up to me and asked,
You
a
did.
lot of y'all wanted to start a podcast.
Yes.
I got good news for you, player. Spotify for podcasts is here for every need you have.
We've been using Spotify for podcasters since we started our podcast. It's so easy. You literally record, edit, and upload all from your phone, your computer. So no matter what your setup looks like, you can start now.
Yes, get your conversations, your opinion, your views out to the world. People need to hear you.
You can distribute your podcast to Spotify and anywhere else that podcasts are heard.
With Spotify for podcasters, you can earn money in a multitude of ways. Ads or podcast subscriptions. I mean, it's an easy way to get your visions out to the world and earn some extra pocket change.
Yeah, my favorite thing about all of this is free 99.
Yes. They don't charge you a dime. So you really got nothing holding you back. Today, not tomorrow, today. Let's be heard. Spotify for podcasters.
Let's be seen. Welcome back to another episode of the For the Healthy Host podcast, where we talk about self-awareness, conscious living, and everything in between. I'm your host, Ree. Thank you for joining me and allowing me to be a part of your journey. How is everybody doing? I'm doing okay. I'm, first of all, just happy to finally be here in this space talking to y'all, because when I tell y'all this week has been one hell of a week, I can't make that up. But I'm just happy that I made it through it. During that time, I kind of I'm not even gonna lie, I kind of lost faith, doubted myself, doubted if I was even made for, I guess, just the life that I want to live and the life that I see for myself. I was just kind of second guessing if it was even mine. I think sometimes when we experience struggles, those are the times when we begin to question if the things that we want are actually for us. I once thought that if it didn't come easy to me, it wasn't for me. And I think that's completely false. I believe that there will always be some type of roadblock or some type of struggle. I believe that anything that is worth having is going to come with, challenges. It's going to come with things you have to fight for. So it's so funny because this week there has been 3 different topics that I was planned on talking about, but then they ended up getting changed. And then I think it was yesterday, I was like, oh, I should do an episode on manifestation. And I was like, well, I kind of did something similar to that already. I did the law of attraction. And I went back and looked at the podcast episodes. And on September 7th, 2022, I talked about the law of attraction. So literally that day, it was exactly a year ago, yesterday. And I took it as a sign. I took that as a sign that it is time for me, once again, to just send out simple reminders for you all, and for myself. I've said this before, but I sit down here and I talk to y'all pretty much about my life experiences and things that I've learned to hopefully drop gems for y'all, so y'all don't have to necessarily make the same mistakes that I made, but also this should be for me too. I be needing the little reminders. So I'm not going to dabble in the whole manifestation thing. I mean, this episode is about manifestation, but I'm not going to talk about the law of attraction, because I actually went back and listened to that episode, and I was like, you did a pretty good job on that. You covered that pretty well. So if you want to hear more about the law of attraction, I'm going to link that episode in the show notes. But today I'm simply reminding you that everything you want is already yours. Every single thing you want is already yours. Oh, and I also wanted to say that this episode was inspired by a TikTok that I seen. Not me always getting inspired by TikToks. I'm going to tell y'all one thing about TikTok. My FYP, not For You page, because I said FYP to Travis. He was like, listen, you're going to have to say the whole word with me. I'm too grown for you to be abbreviating things. But my FYP be FYPing. I don't know. TikTok's algorithm, it be doing what it needs to do. But yes, this episode was kind of inspired by a TikTok that I seen. I think it was Wednesday. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's episode. So, I want you to understand that, like I said before, everything that you want is literally already yours. If you were able to have that idea, to dream of this life for yourself, that means it's already yours. The universe, God, or whatever you refer to the higher power is, or whatever you believe, wouldn't have planted that seed in your mind if it wasn't yours. You feel me? So just know that everything you want is already yours. But achieving, bringing that reality that you have in your mind into your physical, tangible reality, you have to understand that it starts with your self-perception. How do you see yourself? What do you believe is possible for you? What narrative have you adopted? What are you telling yourself about yourself? I have to admit, sometimes I have to catch myself because my internal dialogue, it isn't always healthy. And I don't expect it to be. I don't expect anyone's internal dialogue to always be perfect and healthy and positive. And I think that's a misconception within the within the wellness industry, in the wellness space. There's a misconception that you have to be happy all the time. You have to be positive all the time. I think generally speaking, you want your self-perception, your self-image to be positive. You want to think highly of yourself. But you have to realize that there are going to be days where you kind of feel like shit, right? So what you're saying to yourself isn't so healthy. But I think the important thing is that you catch that negative self-talk and you find a way to kind of turn it around. But it is so important that you watch what you're saying to yourself. Watch how you treating yourself. Watch how you talking to yourself. And like I always say, just be nice to yourself. Because if you're telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'll never be enough, it's going to be so hard for me to become a 6-figure business owner, a 7-figure business owner. I could never do that. I could never do what she's doing. She has all these beautiful things, this beautiful life, and I could never have that. If you keep telling yourself that same narrative, you damn right, you're never going to have it. If the things that you are telling yourself is negative, it's going to put you in a box. It's going to make you be limited when naturally you're a limitless being. And I'm going to say that one more time because I don't think that, and I find myself in this same situation sometimes too, I don't think we understand that we've really grasped the concept of how limitless we are. We can do anything we want to do. And I mean anything, but we just have to believe that we can do it. We have to believe in ourselves. Because when we say things like, I'm not good enough, I'm not good with money, I'm not pretty enough, this is going to limit what we're capable of. And this is going to make it really hard for us to align with the things that are waiting for us. It's going to make it hard for us to align with the things that we desire, the things that are already ours. I think that we all have goals. We all have this vision of our life. But when we don't have a good self-perception, when we talking crazy to ourselves, when we go out to set these goals, when we go out to create this vision of our life and bring it into tangible reality, this negative self-talk is going to hinder us in doing that. Because we're going to think that we're not good enough because it's what we've told ourselves. It's what we have told ourselves for I don't know how long. So we begin to believe that we're not good enough. This stops us from going bigger and planning out a life that, not only planning, but envisioning a life that is bigger than we could have ever imagined. I think even myself, in the past, whenever I guess if I've been asked or if I've asked myself, sometimes I try to play it small. I play it little. You know what I mean? I don't go as like I have y'all ever been asked like if you could have anything you want, any kind of life you wanted, and you kind of played it small? I found myself doing that sometimes. I play it small. I keep it safe. And in a sense, I shrink myself. I try to make the thing that I want smaller because it feels more possible. You can't see me, but I'm doing air quotes because it feels more possible. And it stops you from going bigger. It stops you from, like I said before, creating the life of your dreams. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to look back and realize that I could have went bigger. I'm limitless. That I'm a limitless soul, a limitless being, a limitless vessel. But because I didn't realize that, I didn't align myself and I didn't go for the things that were for me. And that's why it's so important. My countryside coming out. But that's why it's so important to be nice to yourself. I always say that. Be nice to yourself. I am enough. Everything that I want is already mine. I am energetically aligned and connected to all the things that I desire. It's for me. I am her. Ain't nobody walking like I'm walking. Ain't nobody stepping like I'm stepping. I'm good enough. I'm beautiful. I'm worthy of wealth. I'm worthy of abundance. It's already mine. I always get what I want. Even when I think it's not working out for me, it's working out for me. When I found myself talking negative, talking down, being my biggest hater, I have to stop myself and say, hold up. We're not doing this. We're not doing this today. And I turn those negative thoughts, that negative self-talk, I turn it around. And you have to really keep repeating these things to yourself. You have to reframe your mind and unlearn all the negative self-talk that you have drove into your mind, drove into yourself over the years. And it takes some time and it's going to feel like a lie, but you have to keep saying it till you believe it. It took you, I don't know how many years to believe that you weren't good enough. It's going to take work and it's going to take time for you to believe that you are good enough. It's going to take time for you to believe that you can accomplish anything that your mind can ever think of. The universe don't plant seeds for no reason. It's a reason you can think of that business you want to own, or saving lives and being a doctor, or a nail tech, a podcast, a YouTuber. There's a reason those seeds were planted into your mind, because it's yours. We just have to reel it back in and understand the importance of the relationship we have with ourselves. We have to understand that. One thing I also realize is that when I treat myself well, not only the way that I speak to myself, but also and especially when I'm eating well, when I'm working out, when I'm doing all those things, I really feel like the bad bitch that I am. I really feel like I can't be fucked with, like I can't be touched. I was going to say I don't know what it is, but I do know what it is. When you fuel yourself with high vibrational energy, like wholesome foods, going for a run. Y'all, I went for a run yesterday. I made Travis come. Well, I didn't make him, but I asked him to come on a run with me outside. And he did. It was amazing. He was just he said, what did he say? We ran our first mile, because when I run my first mile, I always try to run it like straight through. And then after that, I'd be like, okay, we can slow down, we can walk. But after our first mile, he was like, I feel like if I jumped, I would just float. He literally was high on life, because that moment, like things like that just give you so much energy, and you have no choice but to embody that energy. when you fuel yourself with positive things like that, you have no choice but to talk nice to yourself and be good to yourself. Once you have reframed your mindset, worked on the relationship with yourself, which that is forever a work in progress. That's one thing that I noticed about myself. The relationship that you have with yourself is a ever going thing. It's going to always be a work in progress. But once you have begun to work on the relationship you have with yourself, reframe that negative mindset and speak highly of yourself, you have now shifted to a state where you believe in you, where you believe you can do anything. And this is called sustained belief. I am a firm believer in the fact that what you believe will change your energy. When you believe you can do the things that you want to do, it will shift your energy. This is going to change how you show up in the world. You're going to show up different. You're going to move a little different because, number one, you believe that you can. You believe that it is possible. You're going to show up different in relationships. You're going to show up different for yourself. You're going to show up different on social media because you have acquired that sustained belief in yourself and in the thing that you want to, that you know, one, is already yours. You have decided that this thing, that this life is for you. And when you decide something, all other options are irrelevant. All other options don't exist. When you make a decision, a conscious decision that a life that you desire, a thing that you desire is for you, none of the other shit matters because you have decided. And once you decide, you then begin to implement aligned action from this decision. Aligned action is simply every move I make is with intention. Every move I make is aligned and connected to this future that I want for myself, for this vision that I see for myself. That aligned action is a phrase that isn't talked about enough when we're talking about manifesting the things that we want into a tangible reality. You can do all of the visualization. You can do all of the journaling. But if your actions aren't aligned with the thing that you desire, then it doesn't matter. And it doesn't have to be, I think after a while, it becomes unconscious. Because it's not like you have to physically see the thing written down every day. Like, it doesn't have to be that type of structured thing. In the beginning, that may work out better for you, but I think after a while it becomes unconscious. You know in your mind that you believe that this life is for you, so you unconsciously put in that aligned action. You do the things that you need to do. You embody those things because you know that it's for you. You've decided that it's for you. You've decided that it's possible for you. Because I think so many times we don't think things are possible. We don't believe it is possible, but it is possible. This episode is brought to you by Open. So I feel like it's a known thing now because I've mentioned it like so many times, but I've been trying to get back on my meditation grind because truly life is just different when I meditate. I've been using this app called Open to help me get it together. Their guided meditations and breathwork classes really have just allowed me to be consistent. I'm usually not even a guided meditation girl. I usually don't even like to follow things, but it's a little different over here at Open. And I think one of the reasons that I've been able to just be more consistent and I've been so attached to Open is because their classes are under 10 minutes. So it makes it really easy to stick with it. Your girl really went from hitting snooze on that 6 a.m. alarm to genuinely just looking forward to getting up and following either a meditation class or a movement class. I'm telling you, y'all gotta get on it. You can get 30 days free of Open by visiting withopen.com/FTHH. Again, 30 days free by visiting withopen.com/FTHH. This episode is brought to you by Quince. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like I was stuck in the perpetual cycle of having everything and nothing at all in my closet.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like I go out, shop, bring it back home, and then a couple months later, I'm looking at it like
I still have nothing.
It's what did I do with my money?
Exactly. But then I discovered Quince, and I found a way to create pieces that are timeless and, in a sense, create sort of a capsule wardrobe.
Yeah, it's like generational classic pieces with quality. It's something that I believe will last me 10, 15 years, and it's still gonna have that same classic look to it.
Exactly. Outside of having pieces that are just classic and timeless, Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I absolutely love that.
My piece that I got from them is this olive green flannel like jacket. I mean, the quality is crazy. It's the right amount of thick and the right amount of softness to it. It is
Yeah.
really good. Now I said it's gonna be with me for a while.
Yes, and if you know me, you know that I love a good bodysuit. Bodysuits are just so versatile. And like I said before, the quality is just so good.
Take the drama out of planning an outfit and upgrade your closet with Quince today. Go to quince.com/FTHH for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns.
That's quince.com/FTHH and get free shipping and 365 days return. And I'm not gonna lie, I got in a little rut where probably like the past few weeks, I got in a little rut where I think I kind of lost not my way, but my actions weren't aligning with the things that I wanted. Like, I want to work on my stuff more. I literally watched a YouTube video the other day. It was like a pod vlog is what she called it, but she was just talking about how everybody is so obsessed with growth, and I agree 100%. And we're talking about growth in a self-help realm. We're talking about growth that is ourselves. And even if you can go further and think about the growth of a business, the growth of your social media following. We're all so obsessed with growth. But I think that, like she was saying in the video, different things, or we have different seasons of our life. One season it may be you on your greasy, you on your grind, and you are growing, mentally, physically, spiritually. In another season, you may be relaxing, you may be a little more chill, or I just believe that we truly do have different seasons of our life. But I also believe that even when it doesn't feel like you're growing, you're growing. If you are a conscious being, you realize that there is a lesson for everything that you experience. And with every lesson comes growth. With every lesson comes new perspectives. With every lesson comes a new mindset, a new angle. So you can't tell me that regardless of what this season of your life looks like, you're not growing from it. You are. You're growing from it even when you don't feel like it. But to go back on what I was saying, I just felt like I really wasn't working on myself. Mind you, I am still going to the gym. I am still reading not self-help books, but novels, because that's the era, that's the season that I'm in my life right now. I love novels and I want to continue to read. So I'm going to read things that I'm interested in. I'm going to read things that are entertaining me right now. I wanted to start waking up at 6 a.m. to just journal and meditate and kind of have that time for myself. But for the past couple of weeks, I hadn't been doing that. Like, I hadn't even been trying. Like, since the alarm would go off and I would hit snooze, I would turn that bitch right off because I just didn't feel like it. And I think that goes back to me not being aligned with the future, me being aligned mentally, I guess, that in that one aspect, because truly I'm doing everything else. But talking about that particular thing, I wasn't really aligned with the thing that I wanted to do. So my actions weren't aligning with them. I say all that to say that I am working on aligning my actions so that my mental state can be what I want it to be. And for me personally, and I think for most of us, when my mental is at a good space, everything else just aligns for me. Doors start opening up for me. When I work on myself, when I connect with source, ultimately connecting to myself, everything else just aligns easily and effortlessly. So I'm getting back into meditation and spending that time with myself. And I think that sometimes we are so resistant to aligning or implementing the aligned action because it feels uncomfortable. It feels scary. But sometimes often aligned action will feel like that. It also feels intuitive. Like we should be doing this. Like this is where we belong. This is where we should be. Don't let the fear stop you from doing what feels right. Listen to your soul. Listen to your heart. You know what you need to be doing. You know what you should be doing. But it feels uncomfortable, so you don't do it. That's not implementing aligned action. That's not how we get the things that we want. Aligned action helps you to move towards the manifestation that you want, towards the dream that you want. So do the thing, even if it scares you, because it's going to scare you. I think sometimes that's why I get a little anxious the days leading up to the podcast, because this is scary for me, y'all. I love it. It feels so right. It feels so good. But there's a bit of fear. It's a little scary for me getting on this microphone and saying the things that are in my heart. It's scary. And that's a good thing. If it's scary, that means you're stepping into what is yours. That means you're doing something different than what you've been doing. Step into the fear. Lean into the fear. Because that's how you're going to get all of the things that you want. So I talked a little bit about aligned action, but I want to kind of touch on aimless action. Aimless action is just being busy just to be busy. With no purpose at all. With no intention at all. Following trends, forcing things, doing things even when they don't feel right. That's aimless action. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. If it don't feel right, if my guts say no, I'm not doing it. There's been things in the past, and I don't even mean the far past. I mean like a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I've done things, even if it didn't feel right. I went ahead and did them. And I manifested things that I did not want to manifest because it was aimless action. There was no point. There was no intention behind it. If it's not aligned, if it's not intentional, what's the point? I genuinely don't see the point. I'm not doing anything without an intent behind it. I'm not doing anything without a conscious intention behind it. Those days are over for me. Aimless action is dead to me. I'm not doing it. So remember earlier in this episode, I was just talking about how this week has been challenging and some doubt kind of came in. I was just like, I literally told Travis, I don't know if I'm cut for this life. Like, I don't know. I allowed that doubt to come in. Aligned action is not letting doubt cloud your belief, because that changes your energy, and your energy changes the way you show up. And the way you show up affects your results. It affects the things that you manifest into your life. Because regardless, things are going to come up. We're going to be faced with challenges. I don't know who the fuck told us that, yeah, on this journey to getting all the things that we want, it's going to be peachy, it's going to be cute, sweet, all the good things. And we're not ever going to face any challenges. That's a lie. You're going to be faced with challenges. If you can think of your biggest role model, your hero, they face challenges. Beyonce had challenges. Solange got challenges. Barack Obama had challenges. But in the face of challenge, we can't allow that doubt to come in. And I have to check myself sometimes, because that's how I was. That's how I literally was this week. We have to learn from those challenges. We have to grow from them and come out stronger, come out better. We can't allow that doubt to cloud our belief in ourselves. We can't allow the doubt to cloud the belief that what's for us is for us. Because like I said, when we believe in us, that changes our energy. That changes how we show up for ourselves, for the things that we want. And that changes our results. And those results come to us because we became it. We became the thing. We embodied it. We stepped into this alternate reality as if it was already ours, Because it is. We became this 7-figure business owner. We became her. We became the creative that we wanted to be. We became the artist that we wanted to be. The doctor, the wife, the husband, whatever it is, the partner. We embody those things. We acted as if it was already ours. You acted as if it was already yours. Because let me tell you something. It is. Everything you want is already yours. When you have a good self-perception, when you talk to yourself nicely, it's going to change your belief system. It's going to change what you believe about the world, about what you're capable of. Our beliefs directly affect what we believe is possible for us. When we decide and when we believe that we are capable of the things that we want, we show up different. And when we show up different, we manifest what's already ours. I needed to hear that so much. And I really hope that this episode reminded you what you're capable of. I hope that it reminded you how limitless, how powerful you are. I read somewhere that September is a really good time to, I guess, reset your life, set new goals, kind of just like reassess what it is that you want. So I think this is a perfect time for this reminder. Before we go, though, I want to end it off with some affirmations because I feel like we can't. Honestly, though, I feel like this whole episode was an affirmation, but we can't end an episode off like this with no affirmation. So let's go ahead and get into it. As always, I am enough. I am enough. In this moment and beyond, I don't care what I've been told. I don't care what people told me. I don't care what I've been telling myself. None of that matters. Right now, none of that matters. I am enough. I am capable of doing all of the things I want to do. I am enough. I am capable. Everything I want is already mine. Everything I want is already mine. This seed would have not been planted in my mind, in my body, in my soul if it wasn't mine. It's mine. And although it's not here in the physical form, I can feel it. It belongs to me. I'm marking my name on it because it's mine. Everything I want is already mine. The universe is conspiring in my favor. I know sometimes when we are faced with challenges and we have these roadblocks, we think, well, the universe is working against me. Everything always happens to me. But I don't care. I do not care. The universe is conspiring in my favor. What did I think? I wasn't going to face no challenges? I thought this was going to be easy. The universe is conspiring in my favor even when I don't think she is. Things are working out for me even when I don't think they are. The universe is conspiring in my favor. Always. I am energetically aligned with everything that I desire. I am energetically aligned with everything that I desire. And that means that my energy, my actions are with intention. I'm doing the things I need to do to manifest the things that I want into my physical reality. I am energetically aligned with all of the things that I desire. I am beautiful. I am a light. I am literally the physical manifestation of Source, of God. It is almost impossible for me not to be able to accomplish the things that I want. I am one of one. This world is filled with billions of people. Billions. But there is nobody like me. There's nobody moving how I move. There's nobody stepping how I step. That in itself is a superpower. That's my superpower. I am one of one. There is nobody else like me. And on that note, thank you so much for being here with me today, listening to me. That really means a lot, honestly. And just allowing me into your space. You are enough. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. You're limitless. Don't ever forget that. I'm sending you so much love, so much peace, so much abundance, and everything you need in this moment. Bye. Mwah.